Good morning, students. Today we will start a new chapter named electrolysis. Okay, this is the sixth chapter of your syllabus. Okay, so when we hear the word electrolysis, we may connect this with the term electricity. Okay, so there should be a connection between the electrolysis and electricity. Okay, so what is electrolysis? Electrolysis is basically the decomposition of ionic compounds by passing electricity through the molten compounds or the aqueous solution of compound. So when an aqueous solution of compound or a malt or the compound with molten state, which type of compound, the ionic compound, is being treated with electricity, they decompose, and this phenomenon is named as electrolysis. So what happens when molten state of an ionic compound or a solution of an ionic compound is being treated with electricity, then the compound, that ionic compound, will get decomposed. So and will get decomposed, and this phenomenon is named as electrolysis. So electrolysis is basically the decomposition of an ionic compound by passing electricity through molten compounds or aqueous solution of compounds. So electricity is used to produce the chemical change. Okay, so here a chemical reaction is occurring because when we treat the aqueous solution or solution of molten phase of ionic compounds, they get decomposed. So as the decomposition is a chemical change, so electricity used to produce a chemical change, and the apparatus is used for electrolysis is called an electrolytic cell. So this phenomenon, that is the electrolysis, is happening in a apparatus, in a scientific apparatus. This scientific apparatus is called the electrolytic cell. This scientific apparatus is called electrolytic cell. Okay, so this is the electrolytic cell. Here it is cathode. There are mainly two electrodes. This one is electron and this one is electrode. This one and this two. So 1 and 2. This is the 1 and this is 2. So this is the two electrodes present in the electrolytic cell, and so these two electrodes are named as mainly cathode and anode. Okay, depending on their charge, they have been named as cathode and anode. Okay, so let's start. So what is electrolytes? Okay, we have now learned the what is electrolysis. Okay, so what is electrolyte? The next topic is what is electrolyte. So electrolyte is a substance that can conduct. Electrolytes are the substance that can conduct electricity when they are in molten state or in aqueous solution, and that undergo chemical change. So electrolytes are basically the ionic compounds which can conduct electricity when they are in molten state or in the aqueous solution. Okay, so electrolytes are the ionic compound that get decomposed, and those ionic compounds, those can conduct electricity, when they are in molten state or in the aqueous solution. Okay, so remember one thing, the electricity can be conducted by two ways. What are the ways? Number one, by the free electron, and number two, by the movement of free ions. Okay, so number one is electricity can be conducted by two ways. Okay, number one is free electrons and number two is free ions. Okay, so here in the ionic compound or in the electrolytes, they get ionized and they form free ions. They form free ions. Due to these free ions, they conduct electricity. So in case of ionic compound or electrolytes, they get ionized and form free ions. They do not form electrons, they do form free ions. Okay, as they get ionized and they do form free ions, due to formation of the free ions, they can conduct electricity. Okay, the example is NaCl. Okay, so the example is NaCl. I can show you how NaCl is being ionized. NaCl is being ionized like Na plus, Na plus Cl minus. So here these two free ions can carry or conduct electricity because they are free ions. They are free ions, so that they can carry or conduct electricity. That is why NaCl in the molten state or in the aqueous solution can conduct electricity. Okay. And remember one thing also, that is there are two types of electrolytes. Okay, electrolytes are of two types. Okay, number one is strong electrolyte, number two is weak electrolyte. So what is strong electrolyte? Strong electrolyte are those can dissociate in the molten state or aqueous solution in 100%. Okay, so the strong electrolytes dissociate 100% in molten state or in aqueous solution. For example, NaCl, if suppose 100 gram of NaCl is being, suppose 100 molecules of NaCl is being ionized when it is treated with water. Okay, so in a NaCl aqueous solution, 100 molecules of NaCl is there. Okay, so when in the aqueous solution it will get ionized and it will also give 100 Na plus and 100 Cl minus ion, so it will be ionized fully. Okay, so in case of electrolytes that can dissociate 100%, or dissociate fully in molten state or in aqueous solution, those electrolytes are called as strong electrolytes. Okay, for example NaCl. Okay, and the weak electrolytes are what? Those electrolytes, they do not dissociate. Those electrolytes which don't dissociate 100% or fully. Okay, so a small portion of molecules break down into ions but not stay as a molecule. Okay, so most of them are stay at most of the electrolytes will stay in the form of molecule. Okay, only the small molecules will form the ions. So we can say that those electrolytes which do not dissociate fully, okay, so those are called as weak electrolytes. Suppose 100 molecule of HF was there. Okay, but here it dissociate only 20%, so it will give 20 H plus and 20 F minus ions. Okay, so those molecules or those electrolytes, those cannot dissociate fully or dissociate into a 100% proportion. Those are called as weak electrolytes. For example, HF. Okay, so which are the non-electrolytes? So what is non-electrolyte? Non-electrolytes are those which substances are cannot, or whose substances that cannot conduct electricity either in the molten state or in the aqueous state. Okay, so non-electrolytes are those substances which cannot conduct electricity in either in molten state or in aqueous solution. Okay, so those are called non-electrolytes. Remember, mainly the most covalent compounds are non-electrolytes. Okay, so most of the covalent compounds are non-electrolytes in nature. Okay, here the example is CCl4. Even example methane, that is CH4. Okay, CH4 is also a non-electrolyte. Okay, or glucose C6H12O6. Okay, this also is a non-electrolyte. Here if we make a sugar solution, it will not give H plus 12H plus or 6O2 minus. Okay, so it will only give C6H12O6. Okay, so they are not electrolytes. So these compounds, this solution or this electrolytes, these non-electrolytes will not ionize into their constituent ions like NaCl. When when it is treated with water and giving a NaCl solution, it will give Na plus and Cl minus. But here CH4, in case of CH4 does not give any C4 plus or C4 minus and 4H plus. It will not give like that. Okay, CH4 will not give not be ionized to give C4 minus plus 4H plus. Okay, CH4 only give, CH4 will only give, CH4 will not ionize, okay, in the solution. So that is why those substances that those substances that cannot conduct electricity in either in molten state or in the aqueous solution, those are called as non-electrolytes, because they do not give any free ions. They do not give either the free ions nor the free electrons. So due to these two factors, that is the free electrons or free ions, due to these two parameters or these two factors, any compound can conduct electricity. But in case of covalent compound or in case of non-electrolytes, they do not possess either the free ions nor the free electrons, so they do not conduct the electricity. Okay, so the next topic is electrodes. So what is electrodes? Electrodes are the rods that carry electric current to and from an electrolyte. So electrodes are the rods that can carry the electric current to and from an electrolyte. Okay, so they are usually platinum, copper and graphite. Okay, so electrodes are of two types, that is cathode and anode. Okay, so electrodes are the rods that can carry electric current to and from an electrolyte. Okay, so what is cathode? Cathode are the electrode, that kind of electrode which is connected to the negative part. Remember the negative part or negative terminal of the cell. So it is the negative electrode. Okay, so cathode are that kind of electrode that is connected with the negative terminal of the cell or battery. So it is a negative electrode. And what is anode? Anode are the connected to the positive terminal. So anode are the electrode. Anode is the electrode that connected to the positive terminal. So it is positive in nature. Okay. So to remember that, we have a trick to remember this theory. Okay, so don't panic. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay. So don't panic. This is the trick. Panic means positive is anode, negative is cathode. Positive is anode. So the positive terminal of the battery is connected to anode, and negative terminal of the battery is connected to cathode. So don't panic. When we use panic, means positive is anode and negative is cathode. Okay, so don't panic means positive is anode, negative is cathode. Okay, so and we know cations are positive. So as we know, cations are positive and anions are negative. Okay, so as the cations are positive, it will move toward the negative end, because we know opposite attracts and same charge repels. Okay, so cations is, as the cation is positive charge species, so it will move to the negative part. What is the negative part? Negative part is the cathode. Cathode is the negative electrode, so it will go to the cathode. So cations will go to the cathode, and anions, that is the negative end, negative charge species. Negative charge species will go to the positive charge, that is the anode. Okay, positive charge is anode. Remember panic, positive anode, negative cathode. Okay, so cations will go to the, cations are positive, so it will go to the negative end, that is cathode, and anions, that are the negative end, negative particles or negative charge species, that will go to the positive electrode, that is anode. So remember one thing, cation will go to cathode and anion will go to anode. So cations go to cathodes and anions go to anode. Okay, so the last thing of today's topic is oxidation and reduction. Remember oxidation is when an atom or a element loses electron, one or more electron, that is when oxidation is occurred. Okay, so oxidation is basically losing a electron. Oxidation is basically losing a electron. Okay, so oxidation is basically minus E. Okay, and reduction is basically acceptation of or gain of a electron. Okay, so oxidation is an atom loses one or more electrons. Reduction is defined as the atom gains one or more electrons. So if an atom gains electron, that is reduction, and if an atom loses electron, that is oxidation. Okay, so here is also a trick to remember this thing. Leo says jar. Okay, so Leo means losing electron is oxidation, losing electron is oxidation, and gaining electron is reduction. Okay, so losing electron is oxidation. Remember, losing electron, Leo means losing electron is oxidation. Jar means gaining electron is reduction. Okay, so losing electron is oxidation, and gaining electron is reduction. Okay, so here magnesium has the charge, as the magnesium is a neutral, so it is a zero charge, it is neutral. Okay, it is no positive, no negative charge. Oxygen is also in neutral state. Okay, but in MgO, okay, here magnesium is in +2 state, that and oxygen is -2. So here magnesium gets +2 and oxygen gets -2. Okay, sorry, oxygen gets -2. Okay, so magnesium is converted from magnesium to magnesium 2+. That is, here by losing electron it gets more positive charge. We get only the neutral compound can only be positive by losing 2 electrons. So magnesium loses 2 electrons. So that is, this is a oxidation. Okay, and here oxygen has the zero charge, but it is now has -2. So it is accepted 2 electron. That is why the neutral oxygen, by accepting 2 electron, it gets oxygen 2- charge. So this step, oxygen 2-, in this step oxygen has gained 2 electrons. That is why it is a reduction. Okay, so this step, from magnesium to magnesium 2+ is oxidation, and from oxygen to oxygen 2-, from neutral oxygen to oxygen 2- is a reduction. Okay, so this is being explained in that picture as well. Okay, so this is for now. I hope you guys have understood this. If you have any doubt, you can surely contact me. Okay, thank you very much.